Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're all well today. So today I'm going to run down my top 5 military first-person shooter games. So military shooters are obviously a very popular genre and it's definitely one of my favourite genres to play. Love my first-person shooters, but I really do like a good military game as well. So let's get started guys with the first game. Right, so first up we have Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. What can I say about this game? Well, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, brilliant game. Really enjoyed it at the time. Not so much now, I'll be honest. The first time I played it, great story. I found over time I've really kind of not really been interested enough to go back and play it. Modern Warfare 2 came out, didn't like the game at all. Playing the campaign, it was very short, felt very lackluster. There was a lot of shock value with the no Russian mission. It felt like a very big come down from the first game, quite a disappointment. So when Modern Warfare 3 came out, I really didn't know what to expect, and to be quite honest, my hopes were not high. But when it came out, I was pleasantly surprised. What a fantastic game. It felt to me like a really old school type of shooter with a modern aesthetic, and it works so well. From missions such as Turbulence through to the African missions, which is one of my favourite parts of the game, to some of the missions in London. Everything just really felt well balanced, looks absolutely beautiful, plays really well. It's got that good solid Call of Duty control scheme. And for the first time ever, I actually felt like I cared about the characters in a Call of Duty game, and in particular the Modern Warfare characters, because the Modern Warfare games, their stories are a lot better than the Treyarch games, at least in my opinion. And up until number 3, I really hadn't been that interested, I hadn't been emotionally invested, but number 3 really made me care about Price and the boys, and I've thoroughly enjoyed Modern Warfare 3. It's one of my absolute favourite Call of Duty games. Okay, so next up, on the other side of the fence, is Medal of Honor, and in particular Medal of Honor Airborne. This game is absolutely stunning. I'm a massive fan of World War II. First-person shooters set in World War II are just some of the best games I've ever played, and I thoroughly enjoy them. Definitely my favourite genre of first-person shooter to play. Something that's really lacking these days, unfortunately, except for the occasional Wolfenstein game. But Medal of Honor Airborne was just such a breath of fresh air. I remember hearing about this game and how you got the mechanic where you parachute out as part of the Airborne division, and you can land anywhere you want on the map and tackle the mission however you want. And I thought, is that really going to be good? Is it actually going to work? And then I remember playing the demo on the 360 and I was like, yeah, it really does work. It's really, really well done. And if you've never played the game, the idea is that on the first mission, for example, there are 3 objectives that you have to tackle. Now, when you start the mission, you're parachuted out of the plane and you can control your character and parachute down, land anywhere you want on any part of the map. You can land on a rooftop, you can land in the street, wherever you want, and tackle the objectives in any order that you want. It sounds pretty straightforward and like a bit of a gimmick, but it actually doesn't. It actually does make you feel as though you are part of the Airborne division and you are parachuting into action. It's really well executed. And I also found as well that with the different objectives, it also made you become very careful and thoughtful about where you landed and how you tackled them in which order. Because I found a lot of the time, if I didn't tackle them in a particular order, I would end up just dying quite a lot. And so I'd leave the most difficult part until last most of the time. The game is fantastic. I will be honest, the difficulty level is a bit skewed. I always found that I had to put it on hard to get any kind of challenge out of the game. It was too easy before that. And I'm not someone who plays games for difficulty level. I'm someone who plays games for story, campaign and fun. But this game, Medal of Honor Airborne, it was far too easy and didn't provide enough challenge to make me interested. So I put it on hard. Unfortunately, hard, it becomes extremely difficult and it will absolutely test your reflexes. And some of the stages later on in particular are rock solid. But all the way through the game, I had nothing but fun. It just made me come back for more no matter how many times I died, which is a great sign, just like old school gaming. And all the way through to the fantastic finale on the flak turn, which is just some of the best first-person shooting I've ever done. This big German tower, you parachute in, land on the roof, and you just work your way down level by level. You've got these stormtrooper Nazis with gas masks and miniguns. It's absolutely stunning. One of the best World War II games I've ever played. Highly recommend Medal of Honor Airborne. Bit of a secret, a bit of a hidden gem, I would say, because I don't really see people talk about it at all on YouTube in the community that I'm in. So yeah, check it out, guys. Medal of Honor Airborne is an absolute classic. Next up, another Medal of Honor title. Now which one is it? Well, this one, it is Medal of Honor Tier 1. The reboot of Medal of Honor that came out, I believe, 2013, and based on the current conflict in Afghanistan. Absolutely love this game to bits. Yes, it had its bugs. Yes, it wasn't brilliant when it came out. But that aside, the story, the characters, the gameplay, the level design is absolutely spot on. I adore this game. I've played through it, got to be 7 times now, from beginning to end. Never get bored of the campaign. I absolutely love all of the characters. They've all got their own individual personalities. You remember all of their names. You care about what happens to the characters. It's really well written. And for the first time in a modern military setting, I actually felt as though I was a soldier. As close as I'll ever really get to being a soldier, because obviously I'll never experience that in real life. But it was just such a brilliantly executed game in that it would make you feel like a soldier, but it also gave a lot of respect and honour towards the soldiers that are fighting the current conflict, which I really, really respect quite a lot, actually. And I thought that was a nice nod, and it was well handled. It wasn't a mess. It was very respectful of our serving soldiers, and it was just an absolutely spectacular game. Thoroughly enjoyed Medal of Honor Tier 1 from beginning to end. Never got bored once playing the game, and as I say, I keep playing it over and over again. It's one of my go-to military shooters when I've got nothing else to play. Just stick on Medal of Honor and just get lost. The sniper mission with Dusty and Deuce, absolutely classic, brilliant. I love that mission. Running through the mountains, shooting Chechens, absolutely quality. You know, through to suppressing the minigun on the mountain top. There's so many great missions. Even the stealth missions are really well executed and not overly hardcore stealth. So they're very acceptable for anyone who doesn't play stealth games that often, like myself. And just the sense it gave you of the fear of being a soldier as well, walking through the valleys of Afghanistan, not knowing what's around the corner, having soldiers just appear out of nowhere, the Taliban on the mountains and bullets ricocheting off rocks. Absolutely fantastic title. Love Medal of Honor Tier 1. If you've never played it, guys, and you've avoided it because of the reputation for being buggy, please don't. Please play it. It's a well worth picking up and playing. It's a superb title. Right, so number two, one of my absolute favourite first-person shooters of any genre, most definitely one of my favourite first-person shooters in the military genre, and it is Call of Duty 2, an Xbox 360 exclusive. Absolutely love it. As I said earlier, World War II is my genre. That's my place to be for first-person shooting. I adore shooting Nazis. It's just the best. But Call of Duty 2 is one hell of a special World War II game. I remember when this game was first announced, I didn't think much of it. I saw a lot of screenshots in 2005. I wasn't impressed. There were other games coming to the 360 on launch that really impressed me. Call of Duty 2 is definitely not one of them. So I kind of dismissed the game. Closer to launch, I got to play on a shop store pod, and me and my friends played on Call of Duty 2 and a few other games on the demo pod for the 360 one lunchtime, and I was sold from that day. I'd already pre-ordered my 360 anyway, but when I saw Call of Duty 2, I quickly added it to my pre-order list, because I remember just standing there and just saying to my friends, look at the smoke effects, look at the smoke. I just could not get my head around the smoke. It was just unreal. A minor thing nowadays, but in 2005, that was a really impressive graphical feat to see. And it was the end of the beginning was the demo they were showing at the time, which is one of my absolute favourite levels to play. It's got the English Army in it, which I love. It just cracks me up, the dialogue with the English Army in this game. That just some of the funny lines they come out with, and the old classic British BBC accents. It's just absolutely fantastic title. From the English missions to the beautiful hills and towns of France, which I love French missions in World War II games because they look so beautifully drawn. They're absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got the American missions as well, which are rock solid, and the game does tend to ramp the difficulty up at that point. But all round, Call of Duty 2 is a fantastic campaign, but it also has a fantastic multiplayer. And this was one of the few games that I've multiplayed in my time, but one of the games that really drew me in and caught my attention, and I spent many an hour, day, week, month playing Call of Duty 2 online with my friends, and I absolutely adored it. It was just an absolutely fantastic title, and I would love to see a remaster for the Xbox One. That would just make my day. But Call of Duty 2, without doubt, one of the greatest World War II first-person shooters, and definitely one of the greatest military shooters of all time. So, number one, the big one. So this one is, without doubt, not only my favourite military shooter, very possibly my favourite first-person shooter. And it is Black by Criterion, which came to Xbox and PS2 in, I believe, 2006. And it is a Black Ops game, way before you got the Call of Duty Black Ops games, based around a character called Sergeant J. Keller. And it's all about him being interrogated about missions he'd been on. And each level starts with a mission briefing. They ask him about the mission, they say this happened, that happened, what went down, he explains, and then you play the mission as he explained it, and it's fantastic. The thing I love about this game is it's like a cinematic experience. It's a beautiful Michael Bay experience, but with class. It has amazing action, destructible environments, phenomenal guns, beautiful gun sound effects, beautiful detailing in the graphics on the weapons. The characters are a little generic. They're pretty much standard terrorists with balaclavas, but you know, it is what it is. But nonetheless, everything about this game is so well done. Each level is individual and fantastic. Some of my favourites are the bridge crossing on level 2. I absolutely love that, creeping through the forest with your silenced pistol. The docks is one of my favourite ones, the shotgun and the sniper rifle. The other one would be I think it's called the Grozny Bridge, I think that's right, which is my absolute favourite level because you get the grenade launcher, and I just love running across, well, not running because you can't in this game, walking casually across the bridge, just blowing terrorists up with a grenade launcher is quite an impressive thing and a very pleasurable experience, and especially when you get to the end of the bridge and there's mines everywhere. And there's another level as well, which I can't remember the name of, where you have to walk through a minefield and there's just mines everywhere, and just shoot one of the mines and it triggers all the other mines and blows the terrorists up. I absolutely love Black. It's one of the best games ever released, regardless of genre. It's a fantastic title and highly recommend everyone playing it. If you've never played it, it's one game you should definitely play before you die. It's a classic, and unfortunately it never got a sequel. It nearly got a sequel, but it got cancelled, which really sucks because it definitely deserves one, and I hope, fingers crossed, because you never know, some games do come back, Shenmue, so fingers crossed, maybe one day someone will pick the license up and make a sequel. Kickstart it or get it done by a proper publisher, I don't care, just get the game made. So there you go, guys, that is my top 5 military shooters. What do you think? Do you like those games? Let me know down below. What are your favourite top 5 military first-person shooters? As I say, they can cross any platform from any time of the gaming era. So I've really enjoyed this video, guys. Hope you did too. Thank you very much for watching as always. Please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
A good picture stays with you. It makes you want to know more. It's burned into your brain and leaves you wondering, what if that was me? What if I was around for that? Whether it's a black and white picture of our soldiers in Vietnam or a firefight in Iraq, a military photographer was there.
No, I like being a photographer, you know. You get to go out and you get to shoot cool events like this. You know, we're out in the field. Oh, just like that. See that? This guy almost landed right on us. It's awesome. Yeah, you know. How many people can say they just did this, you know? Let a guy fly right over us while taking pictures of him. It's a good job.
Anyone with a camera phone and Instagram might think they're automatically a professional. But whenever the moment comes down to decide between returning fire or telling the story, that's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. They go where most people simply can't. To tell a story you haven't heard, show you what you haven't seen, and put you in the shoes of your nation's defense. Of course, it's not all action 24/7. But when it all comes down to that one moment, to put yourself in danger to get that perfect shot, That shot that shows the world what you and your brothers and sisters in arms are going through, that's a picture that explains why sacrifices are made. Sacrifices that maintain the safety of the United States of America. That's the military photographer.